Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook, and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of a watch that is not mine. This watch was loaned into the channel by my friend Kevin over at Wrong Time Watch. He and I and a few other people are members of the YouTube creators subgroup inside the Random Rob Discord server. Random Rob is a fellow watch YouTuber like me, but with a infinitely larger footprint than myself. And we in the YouTube creator subgroup trade watches around with each other when we can, and we get to review really great watches, add some content to our channels, and generally have fun with what we get. And what I have for you today is an MMI dive watch. MMI is a micro brand that I've reviewed many watches from them before. And trust me when I say they are doing it right. Good packaging, which is always important. I mean, when you're spending a few $100s on a watch, you want a decent, I mean, even if it is a few $100s, I mean, when you spend thousands on the high-end stuff, you get good packaging. It's just part of the program. But even when you spend a few $100s, you want something decent for your money. And MMI is not disappointing. It's good, thick, good quality cardboard box. You get this nice watch roll, which you can reuse after you've worn the watch. It makes a good travel watch roll. Has the MMI logo on it. You get a warranty card with it. But here is the watch in question. This is the MMI Turret dive watch. In this case, it's the TRD 03 or the Silver O. And it's really a very interesting watch. The one thing I find very interesting about this watch in particular is how they treated the date complication. Instead of a window to disturb the symmetry of the watch dial, they created this inner track, which you can see is 1 through 31, and you have a little sliver, like right there, in a contrasting color, in this case orange, to match the minute track out here, and that's your date window. It just travels around the circle. Really a nicely done. Dive bezel is well done. It's a little stiff because this is a relatively new watch. But there is no slop. And it lines up beautifully, as you can see. Yeah, it lines up pretty good. Screw down crown, signed, of course. I forgot to screw it in. But re-engaging the threads is very easy. When you unscrew it, it disengages with a good positive feel to it. It does have the first position sets the date, second position hacks the movement, and you can set the time, push it in, restarts the movement, screw down the crown. There's your water resistance back. And this is a dive watch, so that is critical. Solid screw down case back. Very standard H pattern or I-beam pattern links set with screws. Signed clasp with a fold over deploy, a push button deploy with a fold over lock. It's a milled clasp, stainless steel, of course. Very solid feel to it. Good quality. Good double click so you know that it's closed up and it's not going anywhere. Definitely not going anywhere. Case is got a little faceting to it. The end links integrate nicely into the watch case itself. Like I said, I reviewed several MMI watches over the course of the channel. MMI, in terms of the quality of the piece, they're doing it right, and they've got a decent line on creating a new design, something a little different from typical dive watch or typical watch itself. So, what you look for in micro brands. I mean, micro brands are we all know. For the most part, they're using off-the-shelf movements, either Seikos or Miyotas or Solitas or sometimes ETAs or even Seagulls. So they're not reinventing the wheel with movements. Some of them even use off-the-shelf designed bracelets or straps. What they're doing is they're putting all their money into the build quality, customer service, and of course, trying to put something together which is different from what you find from your big boys, your Seikos, your Casios, your Citizens, everybody else. Something different. I mean, it's easy enough to make a Submariner homage for a few $100s and slap a label on it and be done. But someone like a Zelos or a Boulder or an MMI are doing things that are different. They're doing things that look different. They act different, and that's why we love our micro brands. I'll give you a wrist shot. Now, I was wearing this watch for a while. It's got to go on to the next guy, and without thinking about it, I put all the links back in the watch before I shot the video. So obviously the watch doesn't fit anymore, but I'll just kind of hold it in place. And you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, it fits beautifully. I'd say with the lug to lug distance, I'll get into all the stats in a minute, and the case diameter and all that, a 6½ inch wrist is not out of the realm of possibility for this watch. Maybe even 6¼ But it's a very wearable watch. It's got good weight to it, so you know it's there, but it's not uncomfortably heavy. Just a beautifully done watch. Like I said, MMI seems to be doing it right, and I got to applaud them for it. My sheet of facts here, so I can go over some of the information with you. As I said, this is the MMI Turret Diver. TRD03 is this particular colorway's name or model number. There are 4 different colorways in this flight. This is a version 2 flight. There is a black, blue, silver, which is this one, the Silver O, and a sand black. Now, there was version 1 as well. Now, those are all sold out. But snapshot in time, early March 2022, these watches are still available on the MMI website. And I will leave a link to their website in the description. It is a 316L stainless steel case, bracelet, and clasp. So, very easy to live with, very easy to care for. Sapphire crystal. 120 click bezel. Vocal without being overly so. Doesn't sound cheap. Has a good refinement to it. And it's a solid spring. No slop when you set it in place, which is very important. The bezel insert is ion-plated steel. Inside the unit is an NH35 movement from Seiko. Again, not reinventing the wheel here. Just putting a solid movement into the case that's going to give you good service with minimal need to open the case up and play with it, and easily serviced by a local watchmaker. It is a 300-meter water resistant, as you can see on the face there. It is a dive watch. screw down crown gives you that water resistance. It is swimmable, snorkelable, diveable. Wash your hands with it, take a shower with it, get thrown in the pool with it, at a drunken pool party, whatever. 40 millimeter case, 47 millimeter on the tip to tip, 13.6 millimeter thick to a flat sapphire crystal, 22 millimeter lug. Only 100 pieces are going to be made of this watch and all the other colorways. So, somewhat of a limited edition on these watches, which is nice. I mean, micro brands love to do that. I mean, micro brands by definition are limited edition anyway, because, you know, I mean, they run in production, you know, a few hundred watches. I mean, Seiko runs a few hundred watches in less than an hour. So when you're buying in a micro brand, you're automatically limited edition anyway. But nice to know there's only going to be 100 of these. So, you know, some exclusivity, which is not a bad thing. Just an overall solid piece. Very wearable, as I show you. Very comfortable. Got good spacing and good gap in the bracelet, so, you know, the wrist can breathe a bit. And makes it very comfortable to wear. You do have micro adjusts. You have 5 micro adjusts in the clasp. Plus, as I showed you, the screw down removable links, so it's very easy to get this thing sized up properly. When I sized this thing up properly, it fit beautifully. I just wish I had thought to leave it that way so you could see that, but sometimes we do things without thinking. But definitely MMI is making, and again, not sponsored. I never, if I'm sponsored on a watch, which is rare, I tell you right in the first 30 seconds. So this is not sponsored, but I can say that MMI is doing it right. And I think this is definitely worth a look if you're in the market for a dive watch from a micro brand specifically. And with that, I'm just going to ask you my usual things. If you liked the video, you found it to be entertaining, informative, useful, please click that thumbs up. That does help with the YouTube search algorithms. It helps to grow the channel, so I appreciate any and all thumbs ups that I get. Comments, questions, suggestions down below, I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to troll me or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet in my comments section, I will simply delete that comment and I will block that commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, I do welcome you. I hope you take the opportunity to not only watch this video, but watch many other videos that I have. All I ask in return is that you click that red subscribe button before you leave. And when you do that, don't forget to click the bell icon so that when I upload new material, you will be alerted. And when I go live, which I do live streams, I try to do live streams every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And at other times during the week when I can, you will be alerted when those streams start and you can come and join the fun. Meanwhile, as I often say at the end of these videos, it is a crazy old world out there. It is getting crazier by the moment. So I ask all my viewers, subscriber, non-subscriber, whatever, please stay safe out there, be careful, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.